tell me what to do.
I'll tell you what to do. Why does it say like 11 seconds after we hit record that we've been talking forever?
No,
we haven't.
No.
So what's up, dude? What's up?
You know, living the dream.
Living the freaking dream. So today's episode has been brought to you by Buzz TV. Make sure you guys do check out Buzz TV. We got a lot of cool things in the description below. Buzz TV's got some sales coming. And yeah, you guys want some hookups. And Buzz TV's arguably probably the best device out in 2021 so far. There's nothing that's been magical that's come out yet. Some stuff's like, ooh, this is kind of nice, but nothing as near as powerful. 4 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of internal storage. You could add a terabyte of the hard drive into the Buzz TV 4900, which is freaking ridiculous. They have some good stuff, so make sure you guys do check it out. Now, what are you drinking?
Coffee, man.
Oh, it's like, okay, so for those of you that don't know, it's like 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Mr. Yoo-Hoo over here is drinking coffee.
Yeah.
He's got a long night.
Long day, long night, all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Don't want to know. Don't want to know what you're doing in the middle of the night.
In the middle of the night.
Oh, man. So today we are doing a new episode called Beyond the BS. Leave us a comment or a review. What is the funniest, dumbest things that you guys have seen that we should talk about beyond the BS? Where it's just so dumb that it's just beyond the BS.
So just to clarify, it is anything and everything, like straight BS, any kind of BS that you see on the side of the road when you're going through your path and your journey. You see something that looks a little funny, shoot us a message, leave us a comment, let us know what you think. Doesn't have to be streaming related, doesn't have to be tech related. These are just conversations about BS that's going on all around us every damn day.
For sure. So I got Beyond the BS YouTuber I want to bring up. Oh, Next Level's eyes just got huge. Ooh.
Yoga fire.
Yoga fire. Here we go. So check this out. Check this out. There is, and again, we don't like to mention names because we don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but there's a YouTuber that literally made a video that says don't use a VPN. It's not the ultimate security fix that you've been told. And some of the stuff that is mentioned on this video is just, to me, I think it's ridiculous. But check this out. A VPN is an internet connection.
What? Okay, but I have to. Is he saying don't use a VPN, use this instead? Or is he saying don't use anything?
He's made he or she. He has made videos. Well, I don't know what he wants to call himself, but I'm calling him a he. Has made videos of get protected using a VPN. And we've had some. So, okay, I don't want to call anybody dumb. But when somebody says, hey, can a VPN protect you when I put my username and password into like Facebook or something? It won't. If you're putting that information in, you're putting that information in regardless. Right. It's supposed to encrypt your data, though.
Right.
So there's a couple things that you should just know. Like, how about this one? I will not get a virus if I use a VPN.
Incorrect. However, some do have additional security features, but nothing's ever. That's like saying a condom's never going to fail. Like,
yeah, this thing is pretty dumb. Like, this guy has pretty much said a VPN is good. VPN's good. VPN's good. Now there is some marketing tactics out there, like military grade VPN.
They all say that.
They all say that, and it's a marketing tool of
because military grade just references the 256-bit encryption.
Right.
That's all it is.
But if you use an SSL, you kind of already have some kind of security already anyway.
Yeah, some kind. Yeah, some.
No.
But not a 256-bit encryption, but you have some.
Right. Well, this guy says if you see that little lock right next to the URL,
no,
you don't need a VPN because it's already encrypted, it's already secured, they're saying that a VPN is like a safety net if the website fails.
No. No.
And then he goes on saying that a VPN is practically good. The first reason is to hide your location, but your ISP will still know exactly what you're doing. The second thing he says is it's also good to get content that is geolocation restricted. So he's saying if I pay for Disney Plus in the United States and I'm in, let's say, Bangladesh that doesn't have Disney Plus, it's legal for me to log into a VPN to access my paid subscription, even though I'm not in the United States.
So hold on. Is he trying to say get a VPN or don't get a VPN at this point? Because now I'm confused.
Exactly. Me too. I think what he's trying to do is he's trying to. So, okay.
It's a clickbait title. It's a clickbait title. He's just trying to get views.
It is. Well, I will say this, though. The amount of views that he has based on his subscribers is maybe like 5,000% more than his current subscribers, because the views is very clickbaitish, because everybody says get a VPN. This guy says don't use a VPN. Mm-hmm. But in the same video, he says this is good if you want to do this, but it doesn't do this, it doesn't do that, it doesn't do that. And you know what? Now that I think about it, he has a VPN listed
in the description. I was just going to ask that. I was just going to say that.
Yep. So here's a comment too. This is interesting. And it's from a subscriber that follows us too that put this comment there.
Okay.
But is the watch Netflix from another country quoted, unquote, product I was promised?
Like without a VPN? Well, we've talked about this a bunch of times, I swear. When you go to different countries and you're using services like Netflix, it comes down to the licensing rights, right? What they're allowed to play in that country, right? So they can only show you what they're licensed to show you in that country.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if you're in that country and if I remote into VPN to watch my Disney Plus, they're not licensed to do that. But he's saying if I have a paid subscription for this and I'm somewhere else, I'm okay to still use it because I have a paid subscription. So I'll log into my VPN, log into my Netflix, and Bob's your uncle.
I don't know. I still see that as a huge gray area because you could be you could be okay to watch that in the country that you originate from, but you're no longer in that country. And they no longer have the rights to show you that. So you're bypassing their restrictions due to their legal obligations. So you're getting access to content you shouldn't have access to in that country. Yep. That's kind of like if I was to look at like the terms and conditions, that would be my understanding. I get it that you guys want to watch what you guys want to watch, when you want to watch it, where you want to watch it. But these companies also have legal obligations to the copyright owners and the film and the movie industries and all, and their shareholders too, right? So they have to uphold a certain level of standards when it comes to these licenses.
So this actually might be a good topic. Don't use a VPN. Actually, the title, don't use a VPN with Netflix Beyond the BS.
Yeah, I guess we could use that as the title still. That'll work. I mean, and it's the same way that they're saying don't use a VPN, but then saying all the good things a VPN does. Like we're saying don't use it because of legal reasons, but it's not really like you're going to get any backlash about it. You know what I mean? We're just saying why companies have these geo restrictions, why they have them up. It's really to save their ass.
And I want to read 2 more comments here before I know we move on to the next thing. It says, one guy says, I never believed in the so-called security VPNs offer at all. It was just to play other countries' Netflix content.
No.
That's skating on trouble. Big time. And then the other comment says, I always use a VPN when I buy plane tickets because you get the same tickets in other countries cheaper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's not other countries. It's within the same country, right? I know in Canada, it's more expensive for me to travel from where I live to go to Calgary than an all-exclusive trip to Dominican Republic. Like it is stupid expensive here in Canada. And if you're checking on different days on different websites, it builds up that cash and you get different prices, right? We did a podcast probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. No, probably about a month ago, talking about how grocery stores in the States started doing this. Mm-hmm. So a VPN is going to be a way of life. If you guys don't accept that, then either pay more, either with your money or with your privacy. I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah. It's crazy. And then don't be fooled either. Like there's a couple things that VPNs will not do. For one, it's not an internet connection.
No.
It will not protect you from viruses and malware. You can still get them if you're clicking on stuff. The biggest thing is if you're sitting in Starbucks, like the easiest way I always say is if you're at Starbucks and someone is hacked into that network at Starbucks and they're sitting across the room from you and you have no idea, a VPN could help. You know, when they're trying to hack into your stuff because you're using a local Wi-Fi, logging into a VPN can definitely help. It'll mask definitely some stuff. So it doesn't provide full invisibility. Just know that.
Well, it does a pretty good job for the basic person who's on that network. I mean, if somebody is advanced enough to really snoop around and look for stuff, they're doing their homework, they're doing their research, right? So they'll figure it out eventually.
For sure.
It's crazy, but I mean, at the end of the day, we always say you got to protect yourself. You got to be knowledgeable. You have to do your own research. And a VPN is just something. It's like 10 years ago, everyone was like, you have a computer and you don't have an antivirus, you got to get an antivirus. Now it's gotten a lot better over the last 10 years. Not everybody needs an antivirus. If you ask me today, Windows comes with Windows Defender. And as long as you know how you're using your computer and you're not clicking on things you shouldn't be clicking on, there's a certain percentage of people that I can say would get away without a third-party antivirus. Right now, there are a lot of people like the older generations, like my parents, they may not know what to click on, what's spam, what's phishing. I would say they need an antivirus program. You know what I mean? Now we're getting into that with the internet where, you know, all these companies are fighting over privacy and security, what they're going to steal from you in regards to your information, what they're not going to steal from you in regards to your information. And we're kind of in that transitional period where it's like, I don't know what you're doing with my information. So right now I should be protecting my information. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I think everyone should be more aware of what's happening with these, you know, terms and services. We have companies that are literally fighting with each other, like Facebook and Apple, about privacy and security and data and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, definitely be mindful. I don't even know how to start this next one, man, but I saw this come up on my feed and I didn't even know how to respond to it. But I'm not sure if this was an OnlyFans thing. I think it was on Trump's website. I'm not even sure. Anyways, I saw this come up and it goes, join the fan club. And it has Donald Trump Jr. And it says that he's the executive vice president at Trump.org. So this has to be Trump.org then, right? And it says that you can DM him for $19.99 or you can request, I guess, something. It doesn't really say much about the request, It just says request for $600. I don't know if that's a conversation or just request to slide in his DMs, because when you click on the 1999 on this, it comes up with this little like warning kind of thing. And it says, say hi to Donald Trump Jr. for 1999. You have 250 characters to ask a question, get advice, or whatever. Remember, there's no guarantee that you're going to get a response.
Wow.
Like, why end it like that? Like, why? Okay, so like they led you up with like, you can DM him. He's going to give you advice. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. And then they said, maybe not.
I don't even see a Trump. Oh, Trump, or not Trump.org, Trump.org, Trump organization.
Oh, okay.
So it's Trump, because I went there. I'm just like, wait, what the heck is this? Man. But it's Trump.com. So you might get a response if you DM them for
$20.
$20. And then if you want to request him, it's $600.
Request him to do what?
I don't know. Is this his OnlyFans account?
I don't know, man. This is just crazy stuff. Like, I would get it if there was an obligation that they would do what they say they're going to do. If they're going to do what they're getting paid to do, but to put in there that maybe they'll respond to you, like that rubs me the wrong way, because regardless who you are in this world, you're going to have people that want to communicate with you. If you're an a-hole, if you're like the Pope, you're going to have people that wouldn't mind spending a little bit of coin to reach out and touch somebody.
Okay, AT&T. Reach out and touch someone. Oh man,
I lie though. Like, you know, as many people that dislike Trump, there's a lot of people that like him. Like, I'm talking like the OG Trump, right? And people would spend money just to slide in his DMs.
Yeah, I don't know. This is just ridiculous. Like, there is, okay, so I know a lot of people know like about OnlyFans. It's kind of like Patreon for adults, I guess, you know?
Yeah, but not just adults are using it anymore.
Right. Not just like, there's people like chefs and cooks, and it's kind of like Patreon just went away and now OnlyFans took over. But yeah, it's not.
You know what it is? This is a huge thing. The adult industry fuels social and technological innovation. It does, right? And now it drives traffic, right? So let's put it this way. What if Pornhub, hopefully I don't get a strike for this, but what if they started another YouTube that wasn't just 18 plus? Like maybe R-rated, but you could do general content. They could generate traffic so that the average creator that was pissed off on YouTube could move over there and get monetized.
That would be interesting.
Right?
And call it like UHub.
Oh my God.
It's like YouTube and Pornhub combined. UHub. There definitely needs to be another platform that can compete. I know there's a lot of pissed off people right now at YouTube for what they're not doing and doing.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and I know people have talked about Rumble. I'm like, but it's not as where YouTube is. I don't know. I think it's a slippery slope. It would be interesting though to see it, definitely. Man, why do I look all blown out? Like it's all bright in here, so I look all
total contrast because I have no lights on in my place.
I know, big time. Okay, here's another one you might find interesting, and I actually had an argument with somebody about this.
Oh no.
So, oh man, how do I even approach this? Okay, let's just say that this person got a VPN and this person got a username and password, and then says, hey, I got this VPN that you suggested, and I am not able to log in. What the hell? Is this a scam? What is this? I'm like,
I almost want to guess a name, but I'm not going to do that because that's just that. Yeah. Yeah.
So I was like, and you know what? Yeah, you can't really guess a name because it's not really one of our normal people.
Oh, okay. Because I've had conversations with a few people that this sounds very similar to. Very, very similar.
So if you think we're talking about you, we're probably not. This is somebody that's not typically out there, but I got a random email and I'm just like, who the hell is this guy? Super pissed off too, though. Like it's my fault.
Yo, why do they always start like they're pissed at us, but they want our help? Yo, if you guys, okay, yo, side note, like sidebar, if you guys are dealing with an issue and like we've guided you somewhere or someone else has guided you somewhere and you're coming to us for help, before getting pissed off, just list your issue without no emotion. Because if you come at us with like heat, you think we're going to want to deal with you? Like, stop it. Calm down. Take your BS and go somewhere else. Go beyond with that shit.
Go beyond. It literally, like the email started like this.
Oh my gosh!
Just pissed. Just pissed off. And I'm like, holy crap, what the hell just happened?
Right.
But I was like, look, you need to message them and ask them for help. I don't know why you're coming at me. They're like, well, you suggested it and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, in the email, it also has a thing that says if you can't encrypt your password, here is this URL. It's like a phonetic password that you could just copy paste and they could tell you just in case if it's a 0 or a capital O or a uppercase I and a lowercase L.
Right.
This is what I got. This is what I got. And this is what really, really
grind your gears.
Yeah, this is what really went beyond the BS and just pissed. Like it literally, like I was like, dude, really? So I said, you know what? I'm like, if you don't mind, I'm like, just send me, you know, just send me the info, dude. I'll try to help you out, whatever. And you know, most of the time people do send me stuff. They're like, here's my username or here's my password, or they'll send me part of it saying like, this looks weird. This part looks weird. And pasted it in that phonetic website. And then I said, hey, the first character is the only one that looks funky to me. And when I pasted it in this website, it says that it's a lowercase letter L. And the guy said, it shouldn't matter if it's an uppercase I or a lowercase L. They look identical. It should still work both ways.
Oh, because they created the login website to authenticate the users that go in, right? Oh yeah. Yeah, they did that. Yeah.
And I'm just like, look, dude, if you look at a keyboard, is there a button there that has the letter L and another one that says the letter I? And he's like, yeah, but that shouldn't matter. If the password that's given to me looks like this, it looks the same. It should work either way if I put a capital letter I or a lowercase letter L. And then I said, look, rule of thumb, if you get a username or password that has some uppercases and lowercases and special characters, the money sign doesn't mean it's a capital letter S. You need to follow exactly how it's given to you. Not because you're lazy and you don't want to put it as an uppercase or lowercase.
It just means they're the special character at this point.
Yes, very special. Yeah, that's what I'm going to call him. Like, listen to you, little special character, you. Dude, I was so like, I'm like, excuse me? I'm like, are you telling me that those two letters are the same? I'm like, dude, how do you spell lemon?
So like, okay. Sorry, I just need to collect my thoughts for a second. Like,
are you having a brain explosion?
the prop. Okay, what is people say the definition of crazy is doing the same thing over and over again and getting like they're expecting a different result, right? So they come to us, right? We tell them something, and immediately like, it doesn't matter what you say. We're like, well, was what you were saying working? So why don't you want to try what we're telling you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, okay, I get that you think you know, but right now I'm telling you, just try this. Like the amount of times people will come to us and, we're like, did you restart your stuff? Did you restart it? Yeah, I restarted it a million times. How did you restart it? Oh, I just hit the power button. That doesn't restart anything. It just puts the device to sleep. You know what I mean? Like, and like they get mad at you for asking, did you do this? And they're like, of course I did a million times. And you're like, are you sure? Like, follow my words word for word right now. Like, let me hold your hand. I'll grab the spoon. The airplane's coming in. Like, I don't know what else to tell you.
You know how many times I've told people to run a speed test within the same
Oh my God.
app they're using?
Why are you doing this to me right now? Like, you're literally pushing my buttons. Like, you're pushing my buttons right now.
This is what I got. I kid you not. So I told somebody to do just that. Open your app, run the speed test. And then they said, well, I already did that. And I'm like, you know what? Send me a picture. That's the next thing I told.
Yeah, I'm doing that now.
Send me a picture. And then what they do is they show me the TV.
A screenshot.
They show me a TV up there. And then they have a laptop in front of them with a speed test. And I'm just like, are you watching from your laptop or your TV? They're like, TV. Okay, let me say this again. Open up the app. Or if you're not on your laptop, why are you running a speed test on the laptop when I just said run the speed test on the app? That means whatever app you're on, that device, that's where you need to go. How is that hard? I'm going to start renaming people Karen. Listen, you special character Karen, you. They should have the letter K. You could go uppercase, lowercase, and then they should have the letter K with like a slash on it, and that means Karen.
Oh my God. A lot of times, Rojas, other people, whatever, generally recommend a company for several reasons. And one of the staples that we look for is customer service, right? Mm-hmm. So if you have an issue, hit up their customer service. It's not scary. I swear. They're going to hit you up. They're going to try to figure it out. Chances are it's their product. They know a little bit more than Rojas and I. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Don't be scared to message them. Don't be scared to email them. Don't be scared to like go through their forums and their FAQs and their tech support. Like we recommend, for one, we both recommend Buzz TV because we've been happy with their customer support, right? Mm-hmm. They've not only given us and our communities great support, but they've also come to us for feedback, for testing, beta testing some of the software, like all kinds of stuff. So, it's that relationship that means so much when it comes to any kind of product and service that us as any kind of influencers or content creators need when we start recommending products. So, have a little bit of faith in the company. And a lot of times it comes with that money back guarantee. So hit them up, make them work for that money. And if you think that there's no value in it for you, then feel free, ship out, go somewhere else. But the whole point is try it out. Try that shit out. Not just the product, not just the service, but the customer service. Make that shit worth your money.
Oh, show.
So you were sending me something about the NVidia Shield, and I didn't get a chance to read too much about this. You said something's going on with it?
Yeah, what's going on?
I don't even know. I didn't even get a chance to check that out.
Have you heard of anything of the Shield?
No, I heard something about the Google Stadia. Hold on, let me see. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick.
So this completely went over your head.
Honestly, I don't even care about the Shield anymore. I'm so done with it. I don't like. I see articles and I'm like, yeah, I don't care.
That's the thing. That's what I'm asking. What happened to the NVIDIA Shield? What happened? There's nothing. NVIDIA Shield hasn't come up with anything for 4 years.
What do you mean 4 years? Oh, you mean since they came out with the first NVIDIA Shield, they haven't done shit. Well, the only real thing they've come out with is the Pringles can or the Stogie or whatever you want to call it. Like, that's the only real thing they came out with, because that legitimately was a new form factor, and that had the new processor chip, which was just a factory overclock, but still it was a new form factor.
Yeah.
If you're asking what I think they're going to be doing later this year, is just working with their partners, right? They're working with their partners like Nintendo to try to make sure that whatever they're doing is going to be proper. But as far, I saw an article. Let me take a look real quick.
Well, the reason why I was saying what happened to the NVIDIA Shield is because reviewers used to be, we had a lot of people reviewing about the NVIDIA Shield all the time and talking about how great it is. And then it kind of just died out maybe like 2 years ago with the reviews. People were talking about the Stogie for a little bit, but that's it. Like, there's nothing going on with NVIDIA Shield. Like, the king of devices has been not really the king of devices probably for the last 2 years. You know, the B-Link has passed it. Buzz has passed it. Like, there's nothing special anymore about a 4-year-old device. It's almost like, oh man, it's almost like here comes Amazon with their FireTV Box, 2nd gen. That was the most powerful device. And then they're like, hey, let's make this little dongle thing. That's kind of like what the NVIDIA did with the Shield. With the Shield, the little stick thing. Let's come up with this thing. And now we're waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And it's just like, what are you doing? Are you doing the TV Stick Plus now coming soon?
So here, I found the article that I saw about the NVIDIA Shield. This is like, to me, it's almost like they're just laying down now. The article's title is Google Stadia is coming to Chromecast with Google TV and Android TV. And then among the list of devices that Stadia is coming to is NVIDIA Shield, all the NVIDIA Shields. Now,
is GeForce done?
Thank you. Right? Why would NVIDIA allow Stadia to come onto their platform if they were so dead set on GeForce? Exactly. Yeah. See your face? I knew you would have that reaction.
That's a monkey BS. So NVIDIA Shield seems like they're just okay. I'll say this: if they are going to lie down and just let Stadia take over the GeForce experience, if they don't no longer want to do that, I hope they're taking that extra time that they did with the GeForce experience and actually put time into their actual device, their Shield, because it's not. They haven't done anything with it. It's like, come on, guys! Like, what are you gonna do?
Here's the problem, right? NVIDIA is a monster when it comes to a company now, right? And if we wanted to compare it to a company like, let's say, Google, I know that there's a big difference, but Google is notorious for starting projects and then flopping, right? Now, if we look at NVIDIA right now, what is NVIDIA doing on the market right now? NVIDIA is working on graphics cards. NVIDIA just started working on CPUs. NVIDIA is working in the EV industry with smart cars. NVIDIA is working on a whole bunch of crap, right? And it's going to be hard for them to maintain all the different divisions, right? When we look at Stadia, what is Stadia focusing on? Stadia is focusing on their cloud-based gaming platform. That's their niche. That's what they're focusing on, right? So if you look at a company that's going to spread themselves so thin, right, and they're trying to run a whole bunch of different hamster wheels versus one that's just trying to do one thing and one thing really well, where are the customers going to go focusing on, right? Like, I remember last year when we first started this podcast, we were crapping all over GeForce Now, because how many arguments were they getting in with the developers, and the developers started leaving. They're like, we don't want our shit on GeForce.
Yeah, so before we go too far into that one, I do want to bring something that I think you are probably gonna geek out right now. And I had to do this. I had to do this. So I sent my mother-in-law a Fire Cube.
Okay, yeah.
And she is stoked.
Honestly, the Fire Cube is really, really freaking good. That hands-free voice assistant.
That's
amazing.
what she's stoked about. It's I was kind of like, hey, this is how you do this. You know, hey, Juanita, open up Disney Plus. You know, and it was like, what? it was pretty cool. But the coolest part was for me on what I got in return.
Cookies?
Better.
Oh, you got one of those original ones. That's the second gen?
Second gen.
Yeah. How'd you get that?
This was the first one that I gave her.
Oh, shit.
So now I got the second gen in, and I'm just like, I wonder if I could take this and maybe fix it. Because when you look at power,
is right up there with some of the top ones on the market right now.
Exactly. Right now. This, to me, is still the most powerful device Amazon came out with. The Fire Cube version 2, Gen 2, is better, and it's getting close to it. But I think when we saw specs, this one was the better one still. Not by much from what I saw.
It's definitely better than the Gen 1 Fire Cube because that was straight trash.
Oh, the Fire Cube
was straight trash.
I would rather go with the dongle thing that they came out with.
Anything but that. That was horrible. Oh,
look at this later on. Look at the specs on this thing.
Yeah,
but I'm pretty
I remember
sure
seeing it. AFTV News did a great article on it. Great article. Yeah. And you know, TDUK does a lot of videos on Fire TV devices, and he still rants and raves about that one, as far as I know.
Yeah, me too. Okay, so here's the other thing that you're gonna laugh about. Okay, I have to bring this up. Why would you do this? And I'm not talking about you in general. Again, this is a good old other YouTuber, a reviewer. I saw this on, well, again, I saw this, but check this out, dude. Would you use your Android device? And I'm not going to say which device it is. I'm not going to pinpoint it so that way people start on the search. Would you go and use your Fire Stick, NVIDIA Shield, Buzz TV, B-Link, whatever it is? You go to Chrome and then you open up Hulu.
No.
Why? Why not?
Because there's apps for that. And usually the apps make it better to navigate, more stability.
So this person gave a specific device a bad review because they are not able to go to either Netflix or Hulu or Disney Plus or going on or CNN, going onto a website and watching a video on a website. They were having such the hardest time to go through it and navigate and like they're trying to use the mouse and they're just like, this thing sucks. I can't do anything with it. I can't go and go to the website and search. And I'm thinking like, dude, if you want to start the news, then why don't you just go to YouTube? Or why don't you look up the CNN app in the Google Play Store? Like, dude, they're like, okay, why are you going online on the website to search for this stuff as it was like a computer, like a web browser? That's not what they're built for.
Okay. I'm going to start with, before shitting on something, ask for help first. Go to a community, ask for help somewhere, right? Like if you can't get help directly from the company, the manufacturer, then there's a lot of good groups, a lot of good forums out there. Ask your question. I'm having issues with this. See how other people have overcome it, because there's some people legit who haven't had devices to stream with or whatever in like 15 years. And they're just coming out of the closet now. And they're like, oh, I have this device from 100 years ago. I'm going to use it like I did 100 years ago. You know what I mean? Things have changed. Things have gotten a lot more user friendly when it comes to viewing on a TV than ever before. Remember back in the first generation and second generation Fire TV sticks, we needed, without a doubt, on every Fire Stick that you used, anybody used, you needed mouse toggle. Do you remember that? Now, I don't even remember the last time I used mouse toggle, to be honest with you. I have no idea. And if I was going to use mouse toggle, I would uninstall the app that I needed to use it with, right? So some people legitimately don't know, but ignorance is not an excuse, right? If you don't know something, then go do a little bit of research, right? Put some time in, put some effort in. Go ask around the community, see if somebody is doing something a little bit different than you are.
It was literally like, I was watching this and I was just cringing the whole time, thinking like, dude, why would you go to Chrome and search for a video? Like, I don't care what device it is. I don't care what it is. Why would you go to Chrome if you're looking like I guess he was saying that he likes to go to CNN. Like I like to go to CNN and just search, and I like to use my streaming device so that way I could, just go to the browser. There's a browser there, so I should be able to use it. But yeah, he went there, and I'm just watching this thing like, what?
Wait, this was a video review?
Yes.
Oh my God.
This was a YouTuber reviewing a device, and I'm just watching this thing like cringing, like this makes no sense what you're doing. There's videos that he's done not on other devices, not going through the web browser. And he was actually excited about this device too. So it was kind of like weird. Like, you gave him a bad review, then you did another one, gave him a bad review, but everything that you're doing is wrong. It's like, dude, it's not that the device is bad. It's you don't know what you're doing. You're bad.
It's like 200 years ago, bicycle wheels were square, and you're like, I should still be able to use a square bicycle wheel. Well, they made round ones. You should try that.
Yeah. I was literally like beside myself just watching it. And then I watched the follow-up. I think there was like 2 more follow-ups after that.
Yeah.
So there's like 3 in total. And I was like, okay, like this isn't being reviewed as is of how it's supposed to work. There's
an agenda.
It was literally like, hey, let me try to, I don't know, let me try to do something it's not supposed to, and then I hate it because it's not doing what I want it to do. It's just like, well, why would you even ask for the device to say, hey, could I review this thing? And it looks pretty good, and I'm pretty excited, and it's like hype, and all of a sudden it's like, yeah,
straight trash.
Yeah, yeah. I'll send you the video so you can watch later, but yeah.
You remember what this was terrible, but I'm going to admit this anyways. I used to watch some videos still, and then I would see them do something or say something, and I would do a screen recording, and then I would pause it when they said whatever stupid shit that they were saying, and then I would do a voiceover, and I'd be like calling out their BS, and I would send it to Rojas and make Rojas watch it.
Yeah, every time.
All right, so ever since the Leafs got knocked out of whatever, I've been trying to figure out, do I want to continue to watch sports? So I was over at my buddy's house watching the fight last night, right? Did you watch the fight last night?
Yeah, that's another. We'll talk in this conversation about.
Okay. We'll get there. But I have a whole theory behind that, but we'll leave that for after this one. Anyways, so the question, because they were watching basketball like here and there, they're flipping through stuff. So the question I asked them was, who is the best basketball player, right? Because like when Michael Jordan was around, you'd say Michael Jordan is the best basketball player, right? And every single person that I talked to could not give me an answer. So the game has significantly changed. I know you're bigger in sports than I am. I'm just curious. I'm like, I'm too fat to play these games, so I'm gonna just look once in a while.
So there is an argument about some of the greatest player that's playing right now, the best player that's playing right now.
Exactly.
And there's the thing is that there's multiple really good players.
But good at what?
Yeah, they're good at very specific things.
Mm-hmm.
Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard, CP3, James Harden,
2PO.
Yeah, no, Chris Paul. I don't know why they even call him CP3. It's kind of stupid. But anyway, LeBron James. I think I said him already. But there's several people in there that people say like these guys are really really good. Friggin' Derrick Rose. If you want to look at the elite. And I mean the elite players. If you want to trim down the fat and be like, okay, these are the elite players. The top people that always come up is Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James, and Stephen Curry. Now, LeBron James, I have to give it to the guy. He gets to the playoffs, to the finals, for I don't know how many years straight it was, like 8 years, 9 years straight. And he lost like 70% of them, something like that, you know? The thing is, if LeBron doesn't get it his way, he kind of just gives up and starts crying and just blames everybody. You know what I mean? To me, when I see the greatest player of all time, or even the greatest player at that time, at that moment, they're not... Like, you don't see MJ yelling at Pippen, crying and pointing fingers, or Dennis Rodman. You don't see them doing, you don't see the greatest person do that. If you're the captain, you might yell at somebody to get like, let's go. Let's do it. But dude, it's here's the funny thing too. They always say, okay, so they had this interview with Charles Barkley, Shaq, Chris Webber. It was like several basketball players, and they're talking about why LeBron James is not the best. And they said, like, dude, LeBron James is a really good player, but considered as a top 5 player or a GOAT, he's not. He had to leave Cleveland to go to Miami to win a championship. He pretty much said, like, hey guys, let's all get together and get really good together and play together to win. Which they won, I think, 2 of them while he was there. And he was just like, oh, yeah, we're not going to win 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8. And everyone's laughing like, oh, yeah, we're going to win like 10 of them before you're going to win out until you retire. It was the conversation. First year, they lost. So... they won. I want to say they won 2 in Miami. I know they won 1 for sure, but it might have been 2. And then he went back to Cleveland because they got some really good players over there. And they were, people piss me off when they're just like, oh, Cleveland Cavaliers didn't have some good players. It's like Kyrie Irving is not good. Kevin Love is not good. Korvar is not good. Are you serious? Like, some of these players are great. And if you have 1 amazing player and 5 good players, dude, that's a championship run. They just have to be good. They don't have to be amazing. They don't have to be great. They just have to be good. They could be decent. And they'll get better if you're a good captain. If you're a good all-around player, if you're a GOAT, they will get better around you. When Jordan went to the Bulls, they were trash. And his work ethic and the way he did his game, everybody around him became amazing. The second he left the Bulls became trash again. They were competitive, but here's the thing. When Jordan went back to the Bulls after he went to play baseball, they didn't win the finals. And it's because they had to relearn to play with each other again. Now, LeBron, after that year where he's like, I can't win with these guys. Freaking Golden State Warriors are just too good. They're way too good. And then that one year where the Cavaliers got knocked out and then the Raptors won.
Oh, yeah.
I know you know about that. Yeah, I know you know about that. That was where Kawhi Leonard was at.
Uh-huh.
That's why I say he's one of the greats too. Like he won. He has like, I don't know if he has the same amount of championships as he does. Rondo is still in the league right now. He's got plenty of championships too. It's like, wait a minute. LeBron literally left to the Lakers because he wasn't getting his way. And then because they weren't winning, he pretty much went and did the same thing he did to Miami, the same thing he went to the Cavaliers. He went to the Lakers and said, get rid of him, get rid of him, get rid of him, get rid of him. Let's get all these other players that are really, really good so that way we can win championships. It's just like, wait a minute. I thought you were really good. Why do you have to keep surrounding yourself amongst other people who are not just good, they're great and still struggle? You know, they won the championship last year, and I guess some of the players didn't want to play with them anymore. Some of the front office dropped the ball with some stuff. LeBron didn't want some of the people there anymore. And a lot of the focus got taken away from him, saying like, dude, he actually can't win without great players. He needs great players to win. And even then he don't win. Sometimes he might, sometimes he not. So
need the Raptors, Joe. Need the Raptors.
Dude. So they got rid of just about everybody, and they had Anthony Davis, and then he got hurt, and they got eliminated first round against Chris Paul, CP3, and with a really young team that are just shooters. That team reminds me of the Warriors, except you got Chris Paul, which is a veteran. He's been around the block for a while. Mm-hmm. But I don't like, dude, the end of the last game. I was watching the last game from start to finish. And LeBron James, every time he didn't get his way, he didn't run to the other side of the court to defend. He just stayed back. So it was 4 versus 5. He would tell the coach, like, dude, just pull me out. He would leave the arena 5 minutes of the game, not congratulate the other team, not say good luck, nothing. The last game, I think he waited to the very end. He high-fived like 1 or 2 players on his team and left. And it's just like, dude, I don't know. I'm sick of LeBron. I'm sick of what he's been doing to the league. We're in this whole super team thing because of LeBron. And I think he needs to retire. I think he needs to get the hell out of the league. He's ruining it. He's messing it up. Let everybody like Chris Paul's going to retire soon. Rondo's going to retire soon. There's a lot of people that are just ready to go out the door because they're done. They've been in the league for such a long time. And there's a lot of young guys that are actually really, really good.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing too.
So LeBron, bye. Felicia, get out of here. I'm done with them, dude. Honestly, it's like I watch them and I'm just like, this is such a boring game. Like LeBron is just, dude. He's a drama. If he's not surrounded by drama, he's not having fun. He's just drama queen. I'm done with the drama. Get out of here. You know, now they're talking about, oh, maybe Steph Curry and Damian Lillard will come down and play with the Lakers. I'm like, please don't. Please don't. If that happens, and if they go play with LeBron, they will just destroy everybody. Like those shooters are just amazing. And they would destroy the crap out of everybody. And I don't want LeBron to win another chip just because he wants another chip, you know? I don't know. That's kind of how I see it. I know you're not much of a sports guy, but
you know, I've been watching more sports this year than I've ever watched sports in my whole life, like no doubt. And one thing that I've really started noticing is exactly what you were just saying, that sportsmanship, that respect, and how when you start to notice that stuff, it really makes you appreciate and be more interested in what's happening there, right? Like for instance, for the boxing matches leading up to Mayweather and Logan Paul, right? There was some really interesting fights that happened, but every single fight that night was all in respect. When the fights ended, there was props given, there was respect given, you know, not just by the people that were fighting, but by their teams. They would go over, they would give daps, they would say, what's up? You know, they would have their speeches back and forth. Even with Logan Paul and Mayweather, as much as drama there was leading up to that, with the whole knocking the hat off the head by his brother and all that shit, and all the stuff being talked about from the fans to everyone else. You know, after the fight was over, when Mayweather opened his mouth, it was nothing but respect for Logan Paul, right? It's a class act all the way through. Logan Paul did the exact same thing back. That respect is what will continue to pull people into watching these events that would never watch them before.
Yeah. I was rooting for Mayweather to beat the crap out of Logan Paul.
Everybody was rooting for Mayweather to beat the crap out of him.
I was like, please just knock him out. And then when he was holding his own, I was like, okay, Mayweather's playing this stupid game that he does. I'm not a Mayweather fan either. The reason why he's got the record that he does is because he knows how to play the game. He will hit you and jab you and do everything that he can for winning points. And then he'll run around the ring like an idiot. Like, okay, you can't get me. You can't get me. You can't get me. I'm winning. You can't get me. That's his game. But in this one, because it was an exhibition, he started to play the game because he was trying to feel him out. And then when he realized, like, wait, this guy could actually go to the distance and I'm not really doing much damage to him. The one thing I saw at the end, and I was kind of mad when he was like, yeah, they were giving him, like, Mayweather was like, you know, give him respect, blah, 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 blah. He's a heavyweight, blah, blah, blah. And just like, wait a minute, hold on a second. Heavyweight, my ass, dude. If somebody weighs 200 pounds and you weigh 140 or 150, but you're a pro with a perfect record, you better knock whoever that guy out is. Flat cold. I don't care if he's 200, if he's 300. Dude, that guy, dude, you played the game Punch Out from Nintendo.
It's when I was watching with my friends, they're like, we're watching Mike Tyson Punch Out. This is Mike Tyson Punch Out.
This is exactly what it is. Okay, Mac, go punch him out. Where's the stars? Punch him out. And dude, it was a complete utter fail. You know,
it was funny when you saw, because I was watching social media as well, right? Because I'm on Twitter or whatever. So I was watching the Logan Paul fans posting the clip where he was just like, dude, and he was like going like this and punching him, right? And they're all like, look at him go. And I was like, he only landed one punch. Like he threw a lot, but everything was blocked and only one punch hit. So you're exerting all this energy and you're not even throwing proper punches. And you only hit one.
It was literally,
that's what he was doing, bro. Like I was like, it was a lot. It was more for entertainment. Like it was whatever. But anyways, I have a conspiracy theory about this. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay, so this fight was put on by Mayweather Productions, right? So Mayweather produced this fight, whatever. Apparently, I read an article that on Mayweather's trunks, it had a cryptocurrency on it for a coin called EMAX, EMAX, right? And between June 6th until the fight, the coin went from $1.50 to $4. So wow. I almost feel like it had to go the 8 rounds to pump this crypto coin.
I wouldn't be surprised because Mayweather's about money.
Right?
But at the end of the fight, when the whole arena was booing, I know. Here's the thing: Mayweather doesn't care because 1, it's an exhibition, and 2, it's all about money to him. So if people are booing, he doesn't really care. But I will tell you this: his ego was hurt. Because he kept making up stuff like, oh, you know, he was a great fighter and we'll see if we do this again and blah, blah, blah. Like you could tell his ego was hurt a little bit because he couldn't knock him out. And they're asking him like, dude, how come you couldn't knock him out? He's like, oh, he's a good player. He could take a punch. It's like, no, he can't, dude. This is a big guy that doesn't know how to fight. You don't know how to take no punches. It's like, come on, dude. So I'm not surprised about this crypto and I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I know Woodley is going to be fighting the other Paul.
I want to see Woodley fight still. I can't wait for that one. That one's going to be a good one. Woodley is a beast.
Woodley should destroy him. And I know this is boxing and stuff, but still, I'm just like, I'm almost low key rooting for the Paul brothers just to start knocking people out, just to embarrass people. It's just like, dude, can somebody embarrass people so that way somebody could actually really be pissed off and be like, you know what? Let me get in there and beat the crap out of you. But that's kind of what's happening right now. They're winning by him going the distance against Mayweather.
They're winning by losing. That's legitimately what he said. He said, by me being here tonight, I've already won. He said, Mayweather has everything to lose. I have nothing to lose. And he was legitimately a little bit right there, because for him to even get the opportunity to fight Mayweather is a win. It's a win. Like, if you, a random dude, got an opportunity to fight Mike Tyson, would you? Even if he beat the shit out of you,
I'd be like, hell yeah! How much do I get?
Tyson?
How much do I get for this fight?
Let me just take my ears down.
Yeah. You know what? The odds were against Logan Paul. Typically, it's usually like whoever the favorite is like negative 100, and the person who odds are not to win, to lose, it's usually like plus 200 or plus 300. Dude, it was plus 1,000. And I was like, wait a minute. If I put like a couple dollars, I could win huge if he goes the distance. Huge. And I thought about it, man. I had the DraftKings app. And I'm just like, I was like, you know, if I put $100, I lose $100, whatever. But if this thing hits 1,000, it's 100 times 1,000, dude.
Yo, social media was going crazy. I seen people that I follow that were like, if Logan Paul wins, anybody who retweets this, $50. And these people were serious, yo. They were like, if he wins, I'll give everyone $50. Anyone who retweets this. And I know these people, like, they give away money all the time. I'm like, these people, like, it was a big stir on social media still. Big stir.
Yeah, that's crazy. So I hope everybody's enjoyed this episode of Beyond the BS. It's not really what the hell is going on. It's just some crazy dumb stuff that's just like what? It's just beyond the BS. Now, make sure you guys do stay tuned, because you never know who's going to stop by. Anything you got to say next level before we get the hell out of here?
You know what I say, man. Thanks everybody for checking us out. We are going into or finishing our first year of doing this podcast. So again, thank you guys all for your support, your reviews that you've done. Wherever you guys are listening to the podcast, make sure you continue to do those reviews. Anywhere that you're listening or watching us, drop us those comments, those likes, subscribe, follows, whatever you can do. Just those simple little things helps us grow, helps the algorithm suggest us to other people like yourself that enjoy this content as well. So thank you guys again. Make sure that you check us out on Thursdays on YouTube on the Beyond the Streams channel for our live shows.
For sure. And this week's live show, make sure you do come on Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the audio will be the following Monday. But we're going to be talking about things you should know about.
Oh, so you didn't know?
This is some new stuff that's coming. And then our weekly tech news. There's a lot of gaming stuff, a lot of gaming talks coming out. Actually, you know what? I just reviewed this Vankyo gaming headset. Mm-hmm. It's actually pretty cool though. Like I tested it out playing Fortnite, and it's a wired headset. It's not wireless. It's got like RGB lights on the side, and you can plug it into USB. It's multi-platform. It's actually pretty cool. Some of the stuff that's coming out, I'm just like, dude, you don't have to pay $500 for a killer headset nowadays.
Nah,
you could do $20-$30 and still get something pretty damn amazing. So
yeah, for sure.
Stay tuned. Weekly tech news this week. We're going to be talking about gaming, everything that's out in the market. And yeah, with all that being said, stay tuned to the next episode, and we'll see you guys on the next one.